Alright guys, we've got a video here from the RetroKingPin and it's on the top 10 hardest games on NES. Let's see if he's on the right track if we agree and enjoy the memories today.
The Nintendo Entertainment System brought us countless hours of sitting in front of that TV, making your way throughout each dungeon or stage, carefully inching towards that boss, palms sweaty, your mom yelling at you to come eat dinner after slaving for 4 hours cooking Thanksgiving dinner. Ma, I'm coming! You knew that any sort of distraction would cause the sight of that game over screen. All of that energy and work, ruined, wasted, good for nothing. There are a ton of options for hard bosses on the NES. Here are 10 of my top choices. If you are new to the channel, we'll be covering in-depth game reviews of the games that
So Shredder wasn't really that hard in Ninja Turtles, by the way. All you had to do was go on that top middle platform, make sure he was on the left-hand side, and keep knocking him as he tries to jump up on that platform, and you just keep him caught on a loop and he won't even touch you. The game itself was freaking hard, but not Shredder.
Make you want to throw your controllers across the room. Remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future content. Let's get into it. Number 10. Death, Castlevania. Be ready to die over and over again with the death boss.
Okay, but most people know how to do the exploit these days with the holy water, keeping him trapped in the corner. Just holy water, holy water, holy water, and he gone. Now, I will admit, though, if you do it like how we probably played it when we were young, with the crosses, the boomerangs, whatever you want to call it, yeah, he's a bit of a nightmare. He's pretty tough, but to tell you the honest truth, guys, I had more trouble with Frankenstein the level beforehand, because Frankenstein, or Frankenstein's monster, the level beforehand, would just be wandering around. Frankenstein wasn't so hard, but he had Igor with him, and not only would this little freaking midget thing jump all over the place, but also throw a fireball, and it'd take 4 points of health off you too, so like 4 hits if you had full health and you were dead. And I always found Frankenstein to be more frustrating, but Death was a challenging boss too.
Flies around like an asshole with his scythes chasing you around constantly. If you're lucky, you'll be able to catch him in a loop with the upgraded holy water. Don't even try this fight without the holy water. You're just asking for trouble.
He's keeping the right.
Number 9,
the holy water.
The Joker, Batman. Raising his hand, lightning coming down at will, shooting that giant gun, the Joker is no joke. If he gets too close to the wall, he'll sprint back to the other side like some sort of Olympic athlete, lose all your lives, and back to the final stage. Come back here, Joker! Ah!
How are you even supposed to, like, avoid that lightning? It's almost like you have to, like, be preemptive on what Joker's gonna do, because it's just so freaking quick. No talented 9 or 8-year-old is going to be able to move out of the way of the lightning in time. So it's almost like you have to anticipate where it's going to be. Yeah, he was really ridiculously hard.
Yellow car, RC Pro AM.
No, so this is hard for a different reason, okay? Because like I've mentioned before in other videos, people are like, oh, days were better in the 80s because there was no DLC and the game came perfect. No, RC Pro Am is an example of games not being perfect on launch. Because what would happen with the yellow car is it would just randomly rubber band with like some kind of glitch in the code or whatever. And you would sometimes finish the race and that yellow car would literally be a lap or a lap and a half ahead. So that was poor coding. That wasn't difficult. It's completely different.
See it now. Incoming all the comments about RetroKingPin. How can you call the yellow car a boss? Do you even know games, bro? Like in most racing games, RC Pro AM starts off extremely easy. You'll be in first place while laughing at the other cars, until you hear this zipping noise. When you actually do, get ready. That yellow car is coming for you like a bat out of hell. Number 7.
A glitch.
Yellow Devil, Mega Man 3.
I'm going to disagree with the Yellow Devil fight on Mega Man 3 because you've got things like E-Tanks and a really good selection of weapons that will help you out in this fight, so it's not so bad on Mega Man 3. Plus, it's easier to avoid like his little body parts that he throws at you. However, on Mega Man 1, if you are not using the pause glitch, that is incredibly difficult. Like, you could do it, but you have to use a ridiculous amount of patience that most people don't have, especially kids. So I think the Mega Man 1 version is worse, at least on NES, maybe not in the Wily Wars collection. Didn't think the Yellow Devil on Mega Man 3 was so bad, honestly.
What you're thinking. The Yellow Devil in Mega Man 3 is an easy fight once you know how to beat him. But yeah, that's the thing. For today's standards, being able to Google any boss fight will show you how to take on anything. But back when Mega Man was released before the internet, all we had was the Nintendo Power magazine from 1991. The Rock Monster. The Rock Monster returns and Mega Man has to figure out a way to deal with him. Deal with him? What the heck? All I wanted to know was the trick, not to figure out a way to deal with him.
There's a few extra patterns.
Number 6. Shadow Link, Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that they didn't put the Red Devil, the Lightning Bird, Thunderbird, whatever you want to call it, in the section beforehand, which is also part of the final boss fight. That was ridiculous, and even if you had max stats, that would just take a ton of health off you in one hit, even if you used a shield spell. So I thought the Thunderbird was a lot worse. Dark Link can be tricky, but most people these days know the trick where you duck in the corner and just keep swiping. Never really thought Dark Link was... I mean, you're always going to beat him in the end. I always thought the Thunderbird was more challenging.
Time to finish off Ganon. Wait, what the heck is this Shadow? That was my initial impression when seeing Shadow Link for the first time. And let me tell you, he is tough. You'll be hearing the sound of Link's shield and sword over and over again for this one. Number 5. The Technodrome, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Before we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the arcade game, a fantastic beat 'em up on the NES, we were stuck playing this. The original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game gets a lot of hate for not following the series well. I've put that all aside and love this game. Having it growing up, you're kinda stuck with what you got, so it's either Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or homework.
You know what, I didn't think the Technodrome itself was that bad. It's tricky, but certainly not in the top 10 bosses. However, if you're talking about the top 10 hardest levels, the point to try and getting to the Technodrome, that's different. Because you have to, there's this big overworld, and each pathway could possibly lead to the Technodrome or to a dead end. You know, it's a bit of a maze level, and the enemies are absolutely freaking brutal. They're hard to avoid. They take so much health off you. So the process of getting to the Technodrome is like 10 times harder than the Technodrome itself.
I'm just kidding, kids. Stay in school. Anyway, I hope you have all of the turtles going into this fight. The Technodrome rolls in and has an electric charge to shoot at you. Then, you have to deal with these two guns attached to its body while members of the Foot Clan are jumping out like they're late to a party. All this, and you have to hit its eye in order to get some hits in after the guns are taken out. God, I hope you have Donatello for this fight. Yeah. Number 4, Dracula, Castlevania.
Another one.
The fight starts off where you have to hit Dracula's head while jumping over his string of fireball attacks. Getting the timing down isn't an easy task at all.
You know, the Dracula fight's more a tested patience, because every time you hit him in the head, you only take off 1 health and you have to hit him 16 times. All the while, you have to wait for him to respawn, shoot the fireballs, hit him in the head, rinse, repeat. Can be a little bit unfair sometimes, because you can be wandering around and he can sometimes spawn right on top of you. It's just the luck of the draw, and that can be really frustrating. And then once you get that done, you've got the Beast form, which is the second form. And again, you can use the holy water to freeze him and keep whipping him in the head, but occasionally you have to avoid his projectiles, which are pretty tricky. And then sometimes he'll like keep jumping towards you, and so the only way you can run under him without taking a hit is usually when he does that big jump. And so it is a bit tricky. This is a tough boss fight. I still found Death and Frankenstein to be a lot more frustrating in the long run, because I eventually got a rhythm with Dracula. But yeah, okay.
Finally get him down to 0 health, his head pops off, revealing his final form. Luckily, you can abuse the powered up holy water in order to get him into a loop. Number 3, Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th. Let me start off with saying, Jason needs to be beat 3 times on 3 separate days. He's a royal pain in the ass and has...
I can never beat him. Some people have tried to walk me through this game because I don't understand it, and every time I encounter him, he always kills me. I don't know how to avoid it. I don't know when he's going to strike. The patterns always seem unpredictable. I don't know how to get rid of him. Now, I know the problem is me, because there's plenty of people who are good at this game, but this is just one that I've just never gotten myself personally. I freaking hate it.
2 possibilities to fight him. In the cabin where you're fighting him from the third person, or on the road where he consistently runs away. You start off severely underpowered, and most of the counselors are either too slow or too dumb. Well, not so much dumb, but too slow. To make things worse, Jason switches between speeds inside a cabin, making it insanely hard to predict when to dodge his
Yeah, I don't know
attacks.
what to do.
Come back here, Jason! Number 2. Jackie-O? Ninja Gaiden. Most gamers who have the NES consider Ninja Gaiden to be the definition of NES hard.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not picked any of the sequels for today to be... Oh, actually, he did Zelda 2, didn't he? But it's just a couple other games that I'm surprised he didn't pick later entries, like Castlevania 3, for example, and stuff. There were some pretty hard bosses in that. But okay, yeah, the final boss in Ninja Gaiden was really, really tough. Ironically, this is as far as I got. I never beaten the final boss. Hopefully one day I'll do it.
Jackie-O is the reason why most gamers consider Ninja Gaiden to fit that title. Where do we begin with Jackie-O? Is it the movement speed being quicker than its projectile? You have these 3 platforms you can try to use to get in a hit or two, but it never seems like enough. You can try hanging onto the wall and getting in a hit or two as it comes close. This is making me want to smash my controller just thinking about it.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, Ninja Gaiden, if you lose on the boss fight, you have to go all the way back to the start of the world and do a bunch of levels and try to hold on to your health to take him on again, right? That final level in Ninja Gaiden was a pain in the neck. Now, the whole game is a challenge, but at least the checkpoint system for the rest of the game is relatively fair. Yeah, not in the last level. That game can go bite itself. It's horrible.
Coming in at number 1,
right.
Mike Tyson from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Now, before you even clicked on this video, you probably had an idea that Tyson would be high on this list, making for a notoriously hard final boss in the rhythm game disguised as a boxing game, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
You know, I take for granted Mike Tyson now because I've been playing the games for years and I just can knock him out without even taking a punch sometimes now. Here's the thing though, when I remember playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out as a kid, I first played it when I was 7, 1988, and I didn't beat Mike Tyson until 1990 or 1991. So 2 to 3 years. And I probably got up to Mike Tyson when I was it took probably 6 months to a year after I got up to him to beat him. Take for granted how hard it is now because I'm just an absolute ace at this game. But yeah, most average people who play Punch-Out barely going to even make it to the major circuit, let alone the world circuit. And the thing is as well, this is like a glorified puzzle pattern memory game disguised as a boxing game, right? So most people don't have the patience to learn and muscle memory all the moves in order to beat it. And like, for example, for me, we've now got the Wii version of Punch-Out. I could do the first loop, but I can't even beat one guy in the second loop, and I just don't have the brain power to freaking learn it. And so, yeah, I mean, kudos to anyone who was patient enough to beat Punch-Out and
that
to do
password, because Mike Tyson will knock the shit out of Little Mac in one hit. Your timing has to be absolutely perfect during this fight. To give you a bit of context, I have my NES hooked up to a CRT and still haven't been able to finish Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Let me know in the comment section if you think other...
Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. Please make sure you're giving RetroKingPin a sub, and us too. Let us know what you think the hardest bosses on Nintendo are, guys, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care, everybody.